Dude, Trevor loves cheese too. That's another
I
story
do.
though. All right. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast. I'm Kyle and I'm joined with Trevor, and we have a couple of special guests in Jonah and Lu from the band Decoy from Louisiana. So thank you two for jumping on. We really appreciate it. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, thank y'all for having us.
Thank you for having us on. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So we did one thing we do on this podcast is we try to like feature some local bands around the country. It's been really cool to get introduced to new bands. And when I think I found y'all from a poster of one of the festivals you played with like Will to Live when they went out and played. I
Yeah,
want to say it
set
was
it
like
off.
last year.
Set it all, baby.
Yep.
Yeah. So I listened to you guys and I had self-sustained through solitude. I think that had come out. Yeah, because that's been out for a little bit. I just remember listening to that and
First
being
EP,
absolutely
yeah.
blown away. Yeah, it's a sweet album. So, how
Thank you.
long have you guys been around, like as a band, and has it been the same members throughout?
Well, we kind of started from the ashes of another band that I was in, and it was called Piece of Me, and our singer was leaving, and we recruited Jonah and our guitar player Matt into Piece of Me. Um, and once we started jamming together and like writing stuff, we decided we wanted to just like start a whole new band, call it something else, call it Decoy.
Yeah.
And
And we've all
so
been friends for
we
like
started
almost
about
15 years.
2017. 2017, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Probably played our first show in like November 2017, if I think correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right.
My memory serves me.
Sick. And then you said, Jonah, you said that you guys have all been friends for like 15 plus years.
Yeah, me and Lucia have been friends for pretty much 15 years, close, probably 14, I'd say. And then I met Matt around the same time too, our guitarist.
Yeah.
Was it going to shows? Was it school? Like, where'd you guys meet?
Well, for me and Jonah, it was both like going to school and going to shows, and like I just where we're from, it's pretty small, so like I don't know. I knew who Jonah was through social media and shit. Well, MySpace, back then that's all we
Heck
had.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's how I knew who Jonah was, and I don't know, going to shows, and then we went to the same high school, so like yeah,
Yeah. We met at a show
we just
first
hit it
and
off,
then yeah, and then we ran into each other in high school.
straight up.
Nice.
So, like Lou, you played in other bands. Jonah, did you, or is this your first?
Yeah. No, I was in a band with Matt, our guitarist, and Chris, our bassist. And that was like my first band was with them.
Okay.
And then they're
So,
brothers, so
well,
Oh,
that's
sick.
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it
it?
it offers a really interesting dynamic.
I was just
Yeah.
going to ask that. Is it like, do they pick on each other? Do they get along? Or is this going to be like some Every Time I Die shit where
It's
you guys
hand
are
in
breaking up
hand,
soon?
man. It's hand in hand, but above all else, those two, Matt and Chris, they're very talented, and they have taught me a lot, about music and the way things are structured within the song and all that type of thing.
Yeah. But they get along for the most part. They definitely pick on each
Yeah,
other,
they
but
do. They do.
but they definitely get
Yeah.
along.
I
Is
mean,
there,
we're all like fucking 30 now, basically. So
it's weird
we
how that
just,
happens.
we just did like 5 days on the road, 6 days driving in total, and like it's just all good times, man. It's a
Yeah,
comedy
you
Yeah,
guys
for
were
show
sure.
just,
for real.
you guys were just out with Soul Exchange, right?
Yeah, shout
Yeah,
out to Soul
man. Shout
Exchange.
out Soul Exchange, amazing band.
Dude, those
They
dudes are
killed it
great.
every night,
Yeah, they are.
and man,
Yeah.
we need to run it
So,
back.
Yeah. So out of the two, who's older, Chris or Matt?
Matt.
Matt, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
he's
there
the
a
oldest
He's
in
the
the band.
oldest in the band.
Yeah, he's the pawpaw.
so is it does he pick on him or does Matt
Yeah,
just like
Matt picks on Chris a little bit,
okay.
but it's all
Okay.
love.
I
Oh,
gotcha.
man. Matt, everyone picks on everybody in the band.
And
Yeah,
then how do you guys know Bobby?
I mean, just, same way we know each other, I guess. I mean, Bobby's from like we're from Baton Rouge, and Bobby's from like Belle Chase, which is just like a suburb of New Orleans, basically. And like when we got into the scene per se, it was like we had a venue in Baton Rouge, and then we had a venue in out here in Metairie, New Orleans, called the Cypress, aka the High Ground, and like I think I started seeing him around there
yeah,
because
for
he
sure.
played in a lot of bands back then, a couple of bands, if I'm not mistaken, and I think we just him coming in the band is just like a whole nother story. I don't know. I'm not sure how that happened, but I'm thankful it did because
Yeah,
Bob is a
he's
very
the newest member.
Oh, okay.
newest, but dude, he's been in the band for a while. But he left, but he came back because we tricked him.
They tricked me
What he
too.
here's shit, but or here's this whatever. But nah, yeah, like Bobby's very essential to this band for sure.
His drumming's fantastic. His
Yeah.
drumming on the latest single, Something Else Entirely. It's
Oh,
just like,
me?
No,
Oh, I play
Lucian's the
drums.
drummer. But yeah,
It's all
Bobby's
good.
guitars.
Yeah, Bobby plays
oh, Lou.
guitar.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm Lou.
Dude, my bad.
Hey, well,
I
props
know
to
you're
you.
Lou, but for some reason I thought you were the guitarist, though, Lou. My bad.
There's like 5 dudes to keep up with, so
Dude,
and you
your
guys,
drumming is
and then
fantastic.
oh, thank you so much. I mean, that fucking something else, like it's just like straight 16ths on the feet, and like I'm not. I mean, fuck, it's hard to get clean. Is what I'm trying to say right now. But I try my
So,
hardest, man.
yeah, let
You
me
gotta
ask you
see it
this.
live. See it live.
Dude,
Uh,
listen,
I
come
will.
to where we can see it live.
You guys did the
We're gonna
run
make
to
it
come to
happen.
fucking Dallas, so
We
um,
always make it happen. That's our slogan, man. We're
there you go.
doers.
So,
We
what one thing I wanted to ask was, I mean, you guys have, I mean, so okay, so you started in 2017 and stuff.
yeah.
I guess that makes more sense then, kind of on the sound that you guys play, because it does feel like a more old schooly type metalcore, not the stuff you get now. But what were your guys' influences then? Why the metalcore sound that you have? You know,
I love it.
I don't know,
Um,
Joe, if you want to jump in.
Yeah, I mean, me and Lucian listen to a lot of the same stuff. Like we listen to a lot of Hatebreed, Marauder, all that good stuff.
I think it was just like at the time we wanted to start a band. Me and Jonah and Matt. Um, we wanted to start a band because at the time, like all the local bands were doing like there was one who's doing like Violation, like traditional like crossover thrash type shit. Shout out No Youth. And then there was like a band doing like death metal, you know, hardcore maggot stomp type shit back then. And then we were like, dude, let's like, I don't know. It was just like we wanted to make some like fucking deathcore mixed with like hardcore type shit. I don't know. That was
Basically, yeah,
like the whole. That was the whole vision from the jump about
Well,
this
for
band.
sure.
I really like that you're saying
Because
that.
I also love like Vane and Sanction and
Yeah. Okay.
love all that shit, man. Like
So
dirty
it
shuffle
feels like
deathcore.
I can hear that, but it also feels like it's even a little bit more metalcore. Like it's not quite as deathcore as like the MySpace era deathcore. And one thing that we talked about, Jonah, like your vocals, like the range that you have is like the perfect range in terms of like that hardcore style with that metalcore flair. Like Kyle specifically said that he feels like is very reminiscent of like Parkway, right? Like
Yeah,
Vincent
I like that
McCall,
comparison.
he has a lower registry, but then he doesn't go like Mitch Lurker esque high. So like the bands before this band and everything like that, like where did you start to develop your vocal style?
Well, I used to cover Suicide Silence in my bedroom. I'm not gonna lie. So Mitch, I did try to reach the highs like him. I'm not gonna lie. And then I really liked For the Fallen Dreams a lot when I was younger.
Oh,
Like that
nice.
was so that was kind of where I emulated like the lower style.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely how I came up.
Which For the Fallen Dreams album?
Changes,
Oh
changes for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
dude, that's a good one. We've talked about For the Fallen Dreams because that's a band that
Brothers
they've
in Arms.
always like stuck to the metalcore trend. Wherever that metalcore trend is, like that's For the Fallen Dreams, like
Hmm.
perfectly. So
For sure.
yeah, no, that's awesome. So the first album, Self Sustained Through Solitude, this is the longest one you guys have put out. Why did you guys
Yeah.
come out of the gates with a 7 song album long EP kind of thing? And then why haven't we gotten a full length yet?
So we dropped that in when did that came out 2017, 2018.
Yeah, somewhere in
And
there.
then we did the 2 song promo and I quit the band after that. So
Okay.
after we did that, I was out of the band from 2019 until last year. So I just rejoined recently.
Okay. So are you on Natural Selection or who did Natural Selection?
So that is me.
Okay.
And but they recorded that previously with someone else and then we took it off the streaming services and then we re-recorded my vocals on it. But on Quake and Disordium, that isn't me. So the
Oh,
two
okay.
singles that we have, that was not me. That was a guy named Dustin. Shout out to Dustin.
Child Dustin.
I gotcha. Okay. Sick. So this last song, something else entirely. You guys pulled Marauder. How does that come together?
So, I mean, me and Matt just knew of Jorge just through like affiliation with crew stuff.
Okay.
And but yeah, so we just known him for a while through that. Yeah, so that's how that kind of came together. We hit him up. We've been talking about playing together for a while and doing a show together. So they're actually coming here in September after
Yeah.
so we kind of like wanted to drop that all at the same time.
Dude, that feature on that, something else entirely, like right now, this is one of the top singles that's released this year, in my opinion. It is fantastic.
Appreciate
Jorge's
that.
like his guest spot, it hits so well. It's like the perfect change up. Like his style coming off of yours, it's just like it catches you. That like it changes enough that it's just like, oh dude, what was that? So like if you didn't know Marauder was on there, and then you're like, okay, I gotta go look this up. So you guys kind of have blown up with this. You guys have like 10,000 streamers right now on Spotify. Like, how's the reception been?
It's been
Oh, it's
great.
been great. It's definitely our
Dude,
best
we've
received
been
song.
playing it for a while live,
Yeah,
and it's been written. And we talked about what if we got a feature from Marauder, because it seemed the most feasible at the time. You know what I mean?
for you
And
to
it was
say for you to say a feature from Marauder is the most feasible, like that's insane.
maybe, maybe.
You missed all the shots you don't take. What was the Michael Scott thing.
Well,
So
Yeah,
I don't even mean it like, like, oh, that's the easiest we can get, but it was like what we were talking about. I didn't mean that,
Yeah.
like, oh, well, fuck, let's just get a feature from Marauder. No, it's
yeah,
like, we were talking about it, and, from the jump, we were like, if we get a feature, like, Marauder was always like,
yeah, that's always been like a
that was
bucket list one
bopping
too.
around. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I know where you were going with it, but the way that you said that was just that was funny.
just casual.
I don't
It was
know.
just good.
I don't know, bro.
it
Like,
does fit really well. I think that like it's funny that
Hell
you say
yeah.
that like it just came together, but I mean, like you would have think that this was planned from the beginning. Like he fits so well in the song and like the different vocal patterns and stuff. It just I don't know. It really really worked out. So,
No,
I mean,
definitely
Yeah, he killed that.
at that part where he comes in, like that's from the day we like wrote the shit. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, we
we
were
hit a
hoping for
spot
that.
right there. Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
where it used to be. Was it one of those things where like you could almost hear him like as you were doing it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
low key, high key.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Master Kill is my favorite album of all time too. I'm just gonna say
Oh,
that
of
now.
course.
top
great.
five, top five.
All that whole generation of like crossover
And then
thrash is like just top
he's
tier.
supportive as fuck, man. Shout out Jorge, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's super supportive.
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah.
Good
Um,
dude.
so the new single, I assume, then there will be more new music coming out this year.
This
I'm
year?
looking at my calendar. I mean, I'm looking at my computer at the date. Yeah, it'll be out this year.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we
Um,
definitely got
I
some
mean,
more ready.
honestly, right now at this point, it's all on me to go lay down drums. I think we're doing an EP. I'm gonna
okay.
go on record and say we're doing an EP, and it's gonna be about 6 songs.
Okay. So you
Cool.
guys are doing a little bit longer EPs. I'm down with it. Give us a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
How's
100%.
how's the process been with this EP? Because it seems like there's been some breaks, but there's also been some really good new music, and like Trevor said, this something else entirely songs kind of landed really well. So like, how's the rest of the writing process been for this EP?
Fun. I mean,
Yeah.
we wrote, we started writing those songs, becoming, and then something else entirely. We started writing those songs like when you came back in the band, pretty
Yeah, we've
much.
been playing those for a while too. Like even it
Mm,
set it off last year, like we were playing those songs. So those two we've had like completely done for a while. The other ones are more new to us, so
yeah. Do
still
you,
ironing
Jonah,
out the
usually
kinks.
do you come with like lyrics that are written, or do you wait for till you can start hearing the songs and stuff?
Honestly, Lucian's been writing a lot of the lyrics lately. Like on this newer stuff, I'll probably write some of those with him, but that's kind of been our process. Like sometimes he writes something, sometimes I write something.
Yeah,
Cool.
we,
So
Lucian has a nice vision of everything.
always run it by him, and then like whatever we're trying to do stylistically within that song, you know, that's where we'll like, you know, see where we're at because
so
we trust each other, you know, but like some these days in the in this era we're at with the band, like we're kind of experimenting a little bit, but we're not stepping too far out of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I assumed that you were the guitarist because I saw that you were also the composer and lyricist on some of the songs as well. Listen, man, like it makes an ass out of you and me when you assume things, but like I just assume
I was yeah, that's
you don't
true. I
often
thought that
have
too.
too many drummers who are the lyricists. So like have you ever been a vocalist? Have you ever done guitar or have you always been drums and it's
No,
just
yeah,
something
I
that you're
did
passionate
vocals
about?
in a band. I've always just, I did vocals in a band one time, but like 10 years ago. Um, but I've always just liked writing poetry, and also have like side projects and stuff where I make the beats and write the lyrics and stuff. But that's always been my thing. And with the music that I like especially heavy music, like I like I like stupid shit here and there, but also like what really captures me is like the lyrics and the visual, you know, just like most
Yeah.
people. Like that's just what captures me, and I want to just make shit that I want to hear. So
Yeah.
I would write after we make a video or something. I'll listen to it, just like lock in my room. You know what I'm saying? Turn lights off and shit, and fucking write whatever. You know what I mean? Just get that vibe.
Dude,
Then
it's
I'll send
awesome.
it to Jonah.
Yeah.
Jonah's like, shit sounds sick.
Yeah, I have my little twist on it.
Sweet.
Absolutely. I'll even it's all like words are one thing, but it's like the delivery and
Hmm.
the placement and the arrangement
Yeah, because
within the
it's
Yeah.
it's
song.
easy to write to music, but then like you have to scream that shit too. So sometimes
Yeah.
Straight
it's
up.
like it's like the concept's there, so like we just strip some words out. Like I kind of
And
paraphrase stuff that way.
it's also like you know, I'm writing it, but I don't have to scream it live. So we run into nah, Jonah kills it always, but like, he's told me, bro, like some of those placements, it's like it's tough to get out live real much.
Is
So
there like a part, Jonah, though, where you've kind of felt like, man, I'm not doing that. You don't have to like give examples, but like, have you ever been like, yeah, nah, dude, I'm not doing that? Or are you
Um,
guys pretty much on the same page, like message wise, of what you're trying to get
Me and
across?
him are pretty much always on the same page when it comes to
Yeah.
I
like
mean,
that
sure
stuff.
though. There's been times where Jonah's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like I don't know. I don't think I've ever like suggested like wearing mascara in this band, but like there's been times
You've
where
gone into your
Jonah's
feelings a
like,
couple times.
no, like
Yeah.
Jonah's twisted it around and
I
he
have
whips it,
switched
bro,
them,
on stage, man.
but message wise, it always stays the same. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
me and him definitely have the same like vision for it, so that
Yeah.
part's pretty easy.
Sick.
That's cool.
So, Lou, you get done, you go in your room, you cry, you make beats, and you write these lyrics. Jonah, I was poking through your Instagram. You are part of a card shop, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, is it like sports cards? Is it comics? Like, what are you into outside of this band?
So it's mainly sports cards there, but I like some Pokemon stuff too.
Okay. And did you start collecting from like a young age, or like what got you into like that kind of hobby?
Yeah, I've been collecting since like 2003. So we were chasing LeBron James rookie cards. That was just seemed like an investment strategy back then. So that's what we were doing.
Sick. Did you ever
Yeah,
hit
I'm
the
a bit.
LeBron?
Oh yeah, I had a couple LeBron James. I already flipped them, but that's all part of it.
Is that are sports cards still like a thing?
Oh yeah, they're bigger than ever
Oh,
for
really?
sure.
This
Oh
shit
yeah,
will tell you.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Fuck.
yeah. The stuff I see every day is crazy. The amount of money people spend on cardboard.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
insane.
I mean, I saw that like Post Malone bought that Magic card for like what was it, like $1 million or something?
Yeah,
Five
yeah.
million, I'm pretty
Almost
sure.
5 million. Are sports
Something
cards
What
something
going
were
for
we
like?
talking
crazy.
about,
Are there
Jonah,
sports
the
cards
other
that go for
day?
that?
You're like, dude, I fucking just wired like 50K worth of fucking.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's
yeah.
usually how it goes down. Like we get a box of cards in, and then people are you gotta wire the money, and then I immediately ship it. It's crazy.
That's wild.
See, in the
But yeah, cards
band,
definitely go for
Jonah,
millions.
dude, in the band, Jonah's the businessman. You know what I mean? He's the numbers guy.
You're the one who goes and collects the money at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Me or Lucian does that part. I handle a lot of the back end stuff, sending
It'll be fun.
emails, all the tedious stuff.
Crunching
Whatever
numbers. He's got one of
change,
those like
you
calculators,
know what I
that he's
mean?
like, nerd.
Yeah,
Because at this
exactly.
point, we're just trying to get around the country and get the name out there. We've been a band for
Yeah.
a while, but you know what I mean. That
So,
last
with you
little
saying
month,
that,
huh?
let's talk about the 2025 plan. So, you guys have new music coming out. Obviously, you have some big shows already scheduled, and you just did that run with Soul Exchange. What's up for the second year of or the second half of the year?
We definitely want to do a Texas run for sure
Yep.
on the like later in the hopefully in the fall. That
But
would
I
be like
mean, next month, June, we're the 12th. We're doing Pensacola with Body
Mm,
Box. The 14th, we're doing a Baton Rouge show, a little hometown action at Set It Off Fest. Um, Torture, Two Piece, Body
Yeah.
Box, Swamp Grave, Golgothan, bunch of sick ass fucking Louisiana bands are playing.
and inner
Uh,
self, how about inner self?
Inner Self, shout out. Oh my god.
Inner Self's cool. Yeah.
Great band.
Oh yeah.
And then we're doing Houston. We've never played Houston as Decoy, and on the 5th of July, that's when we're playing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're excited for that.
Everyone Bleeds, and who else? Oh fuck,
I have
that's
to
a
Blonde.
pull your boys in Will to Live out to that one.
Yeah, shout out to
we
Will
love
Love.
Where to Live.
Legends.
With t- I just want to go on record real quick and just shout out Texas. Like me and
Yeah,
Jonah,
shout out to Texas.
you know, me and Jonah fucking whenever shit was slow in Louisiana, we fucking roll out to Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Just
'Cause shit
roll
was
on
Yep.
slow,
over.
especially
Yeah.
Houston. Like, but from
Houston.
Baton Rouge, Houston's literally fucking 4 hours straight shot.
Oh,
It's all kinds of sick shows, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
nice.
Shout
So
out to
So,
Houston.
I'm curious on like the scene in Louisiana because you're wearing a Crowbar hoodie, and I know that like sludge metal is like a big thing down there.
It's huge.
Does that like influence a lot the scene? Because I know when I saw the rest of the
I
flyer for
think
Set It
so.
Off last year, it was very death metal, focused.
Yeah.
Is there a good like traditional hardcore scene, or is it all lean
There's
pretty
great. There's
metally?
bands doing their thing out here. You know what I'm saying? The Hole Opener,
Shout out
uh,
to Wilson.
Hag. That band is from Shreveport, which is like northern Louisiana. I have
Yeah,
yet to see them, but they're doing like the traditional punky hardcore thing. You know what I mean?
But yeah, for the most part, I
Capri.
mean, it's not like super traditionally hardcore stuff. Um, there's a lot of younger kids starting like metalcore bands and stuff like that, which is cool. We've always had a relatively small scene. It's getting this is definitely the biggest I've seen in a while. We still don't have a ton of bands compared to other places, but it's getting better.
yeah,
Yeah, going off of what he said, there's lots of younger folk, starting metalcore bands, and they are like super obsessed with like this certain era, and it's awesome. Honestly, I fuck with
that's
it
cool. Yeah,
'cause it's like the era. You know what I mean?
is
That
is
I got
Crowbar
into
like
it.
God status down there? Is everyone just like
Pretty much. I
everyone
mean,
just
Yeah, yeah,
well, I mean, like if they play a show anywhere, like people are going.
yeah?
And
yeah. We love Crowbar.
yeah, we do. We played like one of my favorite shows we've ever done. We played a Monday gig in Baton Rouge with Crowbar and Morbid Visions, and
oh
like
dang.
That's
what was
sick.
that like? It was probably about a year ago,
Yeah,
and it was awesome. Like all the
yeah.
homies
That's one of my
rolled
favorite
out.
shows.
Yeah, because I mean we've seen Crowbar several times living down here, and you know It's always packed, but you want to pit and fucking dance and shit. But you know what I mean,
So
People will
those are
motherfuckers.
dance for
like,
Crowbar down there. That's sick.
Huh?
People will actually like dance, like hardcore dance for Crowbar.
At that one
We try.
show, we did. At that one with Morbid Visions, they did, and it was crazy. It was
Yeah,
awesome. It's my
That's cool.
favorite time I've ever seen them.
for
so
sure.
obviously Crowbar is like legend status, right? For a lot of people, like we've known about Crowbar forever as well. What is it like having such a influential kind of genre staple band in your town? Like, are they still coming out and like interacting with the younger bands and stuff like that, or is it just when they play shows?
Yeah.
Like, what is that dynamic with like let's call them old heads, right?
I mean, I can't really speak too much on that. I mean, I've seen Kirk at a show or two, but I don't know him or anything. But
Yeah, they're also in
yeah,
New Orleans, and I mainly go to shows in Baton Rouge. So
I live in New Orleans now. I've been living out here like a year now, but you know, Sammy from Astabaz and Godor, he'll come to shows like what I mean. Like I don't know.
That's cool.
yeah, they definitely still pop out.
Yeah, they pop out. Like I hate God guys. Like they pull
Oh
they
yeah,
pull up.
sick.
Yeah.
That really is just such a unique pocket of music in like such a random
Yeah,
place, you know?
no,
I
for
think
sure.
so. I went to the acid bath reunion on the 30th. It
That's
was like
another
their
one.
second
Yeah,
show. Yeah, and I feel like when they came out, like there were a good bit of bands like kind of biting their sound, low key.
Yeah,
sure.
Section 8, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit sounds like acid bath low key.
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Nice.
surprised. Like it's cool to hear that there's a lot of younger bands doing their own thing and stuff, but I don't know, it's kind of interesting to hear the influence that a band like Crowbar or Acid Bath has on a scene, you know. And we're both from Salt Lake City, but I moved down to Dallas, and getting into like Texas hardcore was a cool experience because they have such a different influence that we did growing up. Like a lot of the stuff we were influenced by was very like California, either beatdown or like California punk, right? It was like one of the two. But come to Texas and you have bands like, all those thrash bands and stuff. And then you hear bands like Soul Exchange and you're like, I get exactly where that sound comes from, you know?
yeah,
So it's just
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, Texas is like its own place.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it's
have all these
definitely
different
no
scenes, and then it's just
country.
Texas. Yeah,
It's this whole own entity for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
And, right.
so it's kind of funny. Like you go through waves, right, of genres. Forever, like new metal popped off late 90s, early 2000s, and then it was like the laughing stock. New metal's back, right? Everyone's trying to throw some new metal in there. Is sludge kind of doing the same thing down in Louisiana?
Mm, I would say everyone's trying to really
New
do the
metal's
metalcore
back.
stuff right now for
Mhm.
the
Metalcore?
young
Okay.
kids. Yeah, that's definitely what they're trying to do right now.
So when you say metalcore, though, are we talking like Decoy metalcore? Or are we talking like Balmora metalcore?
Balmora.
Definitely
Yeah, the kids
Balmora.
love Balmora down
They
here.
love Balmora.
I love that band
Listen,
too.
That's
They're
been
all
the
I love
name I've been thinking
Belmore
of the
too.
whole time. I love Balmora too for sure.
Yeah. Screw
the
Kai.
name is
I'm
literally
indifferent
a
on Balmora.
fucking.
So
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a nod at Elder Scrolls, so I'm down. I'm going to check it out for sure. Anyway,
Belmora,
I love Elder
Ashasara,
Scrolls.
like all those bands. They're doing that sound so good right now, and it's
What was the other
awesome.
band you said?
I think they're called like Ajasara or something like that. Isn't that how
Ashara.
you?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they're
yeah,
That's
sick.
the one. Yeah, yeah, dude. I saw them on
Crazy
the
ass
Days
band. They're
tour.
sick band, yeah.
So good. That sound, I love that. That's what we grew up with, right? Like it's a throwback to like I Killed the Prom Queen, Catherine's, like those types of bands
Six
that are
by
just
All That
awesome.
Remains.
All that. Yeah, there you go.
How
Yeah,
many,
yeah.
dude, Jonah? How many times have I brought it up in the band chat? Like
Too
six.
many.
All that remains.
Too many.
Listen, man, like you guys had was it Becoming that has that kind of opening riff? Yeah. And it's almost like Azalea Dying-ish, all that
Yeah.
remains and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So sick. I love that. And then you guys got heavy with it. It was great. So I love all of that sound. Kyle, for some reason, has been like, he's like acting like he didn't grow up on it.
No, I
He
did
loved
grow
that
up on
crap
it,
too.
but it was fine when I grew up on it, and now it's like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm all right.
No, so for the
The
most part, I don't
instrumental
really listen to
egregious.
that
I know
style,
there's a lot of.
honestly.
See,
So
like, Matt, he kind of came up a lot. I hate to speak for someone who's not here, but he's my boy, so I feel like I can a little bit. He came up on like the August Burns Red type
Yeah.
stuff, Texas in July maybe,
mm,
Riffage, um, and he's been hanging with me and Jonah for fucking 12 plus years now, and Matt adds the like super kill switch engage type sound that you hear from us.
Yeah.
Because he came up on that. I did too. I love kill switch.
See, and I love that because you can definitely hear that in your sound. But I what I really like about your guys' sound too, though, is that you go back to the more hardcore style. So like instead of going August Burns Red, where the breakdowns sound mechanical, right? They're just
Yeah.
like it's so clean, it's just so cut. You guys have like that hardcore feel, and it just like that's what has drawn me to your guys' sound. It fits so well. It's what we've been looking for. We've talked a lot about this, about like the new wave of metalcore is not what we're really into, but this kind of in between, like the heavier style, more leaning hardcore, it's perfect. It's what we
yeah.
really dig. So
I
I love
appreciate it.
that.
I
Yeah, I
love
don't really
that.
listen to too much of the metalcore stuff, honestly. So it's fun to
so
play
what
it.
do you listen to then?
Um, I
You're
like the old
good old
school
country
New
boy.
York rock. I like country. Shout out to country. I
I
like
like country too.
Madball.
Joe's a fan. Uh,
I like the older, like the pre-metalcore, metalcore, like All Out War Marauder, like that type of
mhm.
stuff. That's more of what I would listen to. So that's kind of
Yep.
where I'm at with it. And then I also like the ignorant stuff, like Laid to Rest and all that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you, Lou?
Really perfect. Oh, me? I mean, I'm a witch house, hardstyle recently. I've been listening to a lot of like hardstyle and like electronica shit, man. Right now. Um, and then I like a lot of like underground SoundCloud shit that's like really bad, but I like to give it a
Yeah, it's
yeah for
definitely
sure.
bad. It's
I'll
really bad.
torture everyone in the band with some fucking bad shit. But
Yeah, he does.
Are we gonna get like a Attack electronic hardcore
Nah,
album?
nah,
No.
No,
fuck
no, no. It's just
nah, not nothing like that.
it's the I don't
Actually,
know. I don't know what he listens to, honestly.
you know what I mean, like industrial shit, like
Mhm.
Okay.
KMFDM, Ministry. The other night, I had fucking went to a show. I saw Health and Author and Punisher. Super sick show. I don't know if you guys know who those guys are, but super
So
sick. Like,
industrial is like the one thing that I've never been like able to get into.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
Like the
mean,
same.
most mainstream industrial is like Nine Inch Nails, right? And that was always the one where like
and
when it
they're
was on
pretty
the
much
radio, I was like,
dead.
eh.
I wouldn't even. I don't know. They're just all
Yeah.
over the place. I love Nine Inch Nails as well, but yeah, that's
Like
kind of
Nine
what I've
Inch
been
Nails,
into.
Marilyn Manson, like all
And
that kind of
then
Yeah,
stuff.
I can't do
I've
it.
also
I can't
been
do
Yeah.
it.
running, and then hardcore wise, I've been running like Haywire and
Oh hell yeah.
Death Threat always.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
always Death Threat.
Yeah, man, Death Threat's awesome. See, like it all goes back to like what I said about lyrics. Like Death Threat got super sick, honest lyrics. He's like talking about smoking dust and shit. It's sick. Like,
He's honest for
Blood
sure.
for Blood, man.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Um, so
all
I
kind
did
of shit.
I did have
Freaky
a
shit.
another question. So with you saying that like the Louisiana scene, is kind of struggled a little bit. That's big now. But what do you think is like? What do you think it's missing? What do you think it needs to like keep growing or to take the next step as a scene?
I think just a solid all ages venue. Like as of late, we've been doing consistent shows at the all ages spot in DR, which is great, Mid City Ballroom. It's a great spot. So like I think
Yeah,
once parents know they can drop their kids off at a cool venue that's like not super sketchy and like
Mm.
that's when it'll really like blossom and then the younger kids will start bands. It's just we're waiting on that trickle down effect. We're like watering the plants right now.
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, we got dropped off at venues that were like low key pretty sketchy.
Yeah, super sketchy. Not even low key sketchy.
Yeah, the promoter's like, man, where's the fucking yeah, man, where's the road?
Yeah, for real.
So,
Oh,
is the scene like younger? I've noticed that like the Dallas scene, and I don't know, maybe it's just because like Dallas in general has a lot of transplants, and I don't know. Sometimes I felt like it's kind of hard for this scene to like organically grow in Dallas. But like, is Louisiana like Baton Rouge and New Orleans? Is it younger? Or are you seeing like an influx of new kids, or is it all just
Yeah,
us
there's
grumpy
a
old
ton
guys
of.
hanging around?
I think it's
definitely.
just the post-COVID boom, just a ton of young kids mixed with the TikTok stuff. So it's like they're finding it through different avenues,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's definitely a ton of young kids.
So you just said TikTok. Do you think they're going to stick? Because that's what I'm concerned about. Like, there's a lot of people coming out right now. Even Salt Lake, it pops off. The local shows, 150, 200 kids sometimes. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in a year or 2 years from now. Like, is this just going to be the TikTok trend? Everyone thinks it's cool, and then they get hit in the face one too many times and they just don't come back. What do you
Yeah,
guys think? Like, do you feel like they're starting to take over the scene a little bit and starting to integrate, or do you think that they're going to be gone in a little bit?
yeah. I mean, I think it just the test of time. It's just what we've all gone through, basically. Like you get punched in the face too many times, they might not like it. It's just kind of how it happens. They phase in,
So
phase out.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, Turnstile just dropped a new album, or is about to, so I guess we'll.
well,
I seen some
I'll
kids
say
stage
this.
diving in whatever video at their whatever that show they just played. There's like
Yeah.
some young kids stage diving is cool. It's
It looks
a
sick.
freaking yeah, it looked crazy.
It's too bad the music's not that good anymore. So,
I'm not personally a fan of it, but shout out to them for doing their thing.
yeah,
Sure. I
dude.
I
Yeah,
mean, this is
They'll
a
be
battle that me and
going.
Trevor have all the time,
Yeah.
and I think that I'm cool. I'm cool with bands changing their sound. If you guys did drop the like Attack electronic metal album, like, I would still listen to it out of respect for
yeah.
you guys.
You don't have
Trevor
to worry
would.
about that. That'll
You know,
never happen, I promise.
I've done like samples that we played live and shit, and it worked out. I want
There
to
you go.
incorporate more of that. There's going to be more of that in the future,
All right.
Well, I'm just ready to see
but it's not
Jonah
going to
up
be
there doing the run in
it's not going to
place.
be like drum and
Yeah.
bass, like blood on
But
the
back to
tracks.
the turnstile thing, I will say their progression does make a lot of sense. Like it's
Mhm.
not like they progressively did that at a good pace and like I don't know, I'm not too shocked by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they did it well too. So I
Yeah.
can't knock
I
it, but
don't I don't hate on it. You know, I'm a,
Yeah.
I'm known to be a hater, so I guess with Turnstile, I'm gonna go with I don't hate it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Like the
I think
new
that's
music, like you know, I feel like it kind of circles back to like the second to last album that came out, like some elements like what I heard in the single. And that's cool. I don't expect them to fucking keep pumping out. Because if they did, keep pumping out like heavy ass like leeway riffs like they did in from the jump, people would be like, "Oh wow, they just you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
fuck." And that's what I respect, you know. And
So
they're like,
how does that apply to you guys with your music though? Do you guys talk about like what's the limit on sound changes that you feel comfortable with?
100%
Yeah.
with this
Hmm.
with this EP we're working on. I feel like we're all just like more brutally honest with each other than we've ever been. Like, there's been whole passages and songs where, you know, we've been spending the last like month like pre-proing at Bobby's house, and yeah, there's just been parts and songs that don't sit right with either one of us. You know, it don't have to just be me or Jonah. It could be
Yeah.
Bob. You know, and we're just like, yo, I'm not feeling that, and I just don't think it's like good enough. And
So
we're like,
how do you balance though like a sound change? Like what if,
it's
Matt
not really
started
like a
playing music?
sound change, but it's like a structure.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
lately,
Okay.
so when
most
we
of our
first started writing,
songs. What's up? Sorry.
when we first started writing the new stuff, we kind of noticed that the songs were getting longer, and like my attention span is just really short. Like I got a good 2 minutes and 45 seconds worth of attention going on for the track. So like once it gets into like the 3.5 minutes, I'm just so we started chopping out some stuff from that
Yeah.
just
Sick.
because we didn't want to keep dragging it on. We want to be in your face kind of to the point.
Sick. Yeah. So, okay, I've got one last question, then I'll let Kyle take over from there. But you guys are now with Upstate. So, how did Upstate come together, and like, how's that relationship been
We
since
literally
dropping
talk to
Becoming?
like every upstate band, it feels like. So
Yeah,
Yeah. So Mario and Kim are great. They saw our LCY video we did for personality program, and that's kind of how we got on their radar with that. That was really the main thing. And then they hit us up about that, and it's all from there. It's good.
that's awesome.
sick.
They seem like a
And
good label to work with, at least the bands that we've talked to. So like shout
Oh
out to
yeah,
Upstate, because they've
yeah, they're
got just
great
great
people.
bangers on their label now. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's super family oriented. I mean, they're, you know, my mom and dad, but they're very supportive, and I feel like with each band that they sign and bring on, like, there's something unique about each one, and I feel like they really care about who they're bringing on, and what they're putting out. So much
I feel
love and
like
respect to them.
our algorithms like must be like identical because we were like listening to Fortunes, Heavy as the Head, you guys, and we like started to like talk about them, and then all of a sudden it's like signed with Upstate, signed with Upstate, signed with Upstate. Like it was like perfect timing. So
Yeah.
That's
no,
awesome.
we're right in the
We
same vein as them.
we linked up with them what, like about a year ago now,
Yep.
and the first thing we put out through them was Becoming, and that came out
Yeah,
in February. And we were just stoked to finally have something out with them.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
they give that extra push as far as like pushing the content and
yeah,
doing things like allowing us to come and be a part of something like this with you guys, which we very much appreciate. You know what I mean? We appreciate
sick.
y'all listening and all the really nice things y'all said. We really, really appreciate it. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's so many bands coming out right now, and some not right now. Just I mean, just yeah, right now. But every second of every day, it's
I mean,
like
I'll tell you, every day I probably listen to 2 or 3 new bands. Like
it's it.
it's part of like what we have to do, right, to keep this
Yeah.
kind of fresh and everything. And it's part of what we like to do. We've talked about this before, but Kyle and I have been friends for 25 years at this point. And we grew up in the MySpace era, sitting in Kyle's basement and just going through top eights. Like that's all we did, just over and over, look for new music. So when we decided to do this,
And
we
that's when
started
it was
with
like not as accessible, you know. It
it,
was
it was
like,
harder. Yeah.
Yeah,
It almost, to be honest with you though, it feels like that time again. There's so much more and it's so much more accessible, but to filter out and find a band that you like Decoy and stuff like that, I'm telling you, I listen to like 3 new bands a day, and maybe one a week is it's like I send it to Kyle and I'm like, dude, you gotta check this one out, you know? So
yeah.
shout out to the bands that are doing it solid and doing it well, and like shout out to you guys. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. I mean, that's a lot of dedication. It's hard. I mean, once you're like, especially with like when you're listening to the same stuff, like the style wise, it's like to notice something different. Like, it's awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
it is interesting, and there's a lot of replicating, there's a lot of stuff, so you have to start looking for the like minor details, the minor different things, or the things that pull you back, like we talked about in Becoming. It's the old school metalcore riffs that start coming out, it's the Jorge feature, like all those things. If you're not like doing something that catches it, like unfortunately, like I'll listen to you once and probably not go back to you. But
Well, yeah, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that we hear from like almost all these bands that we interview, and you guys said it, and I love hearing it, is that like we're just making music that we like. Because when you do it that way, like you're doing it right. You know, I think a lot of these bands that we listen to, it's like they're doing it to sound like somebody. You know, like they're doing it to check a box because they think
Yeah,
that's what's popular now. And some of it's good, like you can listen to it, but like we take pride in trying to find bands that are unique to us at least. And honestly, like when I heard you guys, it was the same thing. It was like, dang, like this is like I could hear like just the anger and the passion, and when you're screaming Jonah, and like all the music was very nostalgic to what I grew up on, and I was like, this is just so good. And so like we do listen to a lot of stuff, but there's good music out there. Like there's kids that are out there doing it the absolute right way, and
hell
we're
yeah.
excited for it. So
I'm glad we passed the test too. We definitely try to blend a bunch of elements and stuff. So
it works.
I'm
I
glad
mean, it
y'all
works what
noticed.
y'all are doing. Yeah, it
dude,
works what
it's good.
y'all are doing. So
nothing too
keep it.
far out of left field. You know, we're not gonna like do any like ska shit or anything.
Listen, we get down with some ska.
I'll be
Like Kyle has
I
said,
do
let's
too,
go.
man. I do
throw a
too.
flute, throw like speed.
Yeah,
Like
Speed did the
Big
flute,
you
D
can't
man.
and the
knock it.
kids table for sure.
There you
I
go.
think I think Matt can play the violin, bro. We're gonna add some violin shit. Who knows?
Oh,
We might
listen,
get
man,
crazy. He play piano too. We don't know what we're doing.
is
I
do it
mean,
right.
but
I
honestly,
trust you
we
guys.
don't.
You
I
guys
mean,
can
don't
do it
be
right.
surprised if you hear those elements on the next EP, like the
Just
violin and
just
the
don't give us this
piano.
like modern deathcore orchestra in the background
Oh no
symphonic
no no
stuff.
no no no.
Like give us a nice violin intro, outro, something like that. It'll be solid.
That's more
Exactly.
like it. Maybe some
No,
insidious
exactly.
sounding shit. Just
Hell
very
yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
not yeah, not the other stuff. Not the other stuff.
There's definitely going to be a cool interlude and outro on the
Yeah,
EP.
something
I'm
like
down.
that would be
And it's
yeah.
going to involve, it's going to have those instruments in it. I'm
I'm
going
down.
to force Matt to do it. He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys said it on here, so it has to happen. Tell Matt that
Yep.
it's
Oh
recorded and
yeah.
out in the ether. So
It's all
Yep.
good because we've literally talked about it for like 6 years.
This
Gotta
is
think about it.
this
Six
is
years.
our clip for the promo. So Matt, you're obligated. So
Yeah, you hear that, Matt?
We're
Violin
going
next
on
track.
record. On the
yeah,
record.
so cool. I mean, that's all we've got. We appreciate you guys seriously. Huge fans of you guys, huge fans of the music. Please come to Dallas. I don't care if you go to Salt Lake, Trevor, whatever, he'll figure it out. But, let me
We're
know when you
going
guys come
about
to
it.
Dallas. I'll be front and center. So
Dallas in November. I'm gonna say it now. I'm just
there
gonna
it is.
manifest it for you. That's what we're gonna happen. Because I
All right.
love Texas. We're trying to do a bunch of different shows in
Associates.
Texas. So
Cool. I
Yeah.
will get rowdy for you guys
yeah.
as best as my old body will let me still. So
Love it.
Cool.
Sweet.
Well,
Appreciate
thank
y'all.
y'all so much for having us, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real
thank
quick,
y'all.
Thank you for
shout out other
everything.
Louisiana bands. Shout out whoever you guys want real quick, and we'll wrap this thing up.
Shout out Drim. Shout out Brad. Shout out Hole Opener, Jonah.
Yeah, shout out Our House. Let's see, I'm gonna shout out some Texas bands. Shout out Inner Self. Shout out Realms of Death.
Mm,
Will to
Realms of Death.
Live, Fortunes.
Yeah, yeah. Sweet.
410.
Yeah.
Dope.
Cool.
Shout out
All right.
everybody supporting, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us on. Thank you for again, like for listening and like, actually like dissecting the song and like
For sure.
asking that shit. So like
We
just thank you.
try. We
Yeah,
try. So awesome. Hey, thank you guys so much.
absolutely. Thank y'all so much.